Hello, everyone, and welcome over to race number 10 of the season 3 in our 2003 KFC Fantasy Series. And we're here in our third tour overseas. We've finally made our voyage to Australia. Yes, for the second time in the series, we are in Australia at the Calder Park Thunderdome. And last race at Japan was pretty eventful, probably one of the best I've ever seen. And that is why, for what happened, for those who don't know, Cat Rose won her first race in the series at Japan Motegi, which is not only eventful but very memorable race for her, as that brings us back in time, I guess, when we had our first female winner. Well, probably one of the best winners for a female ever in history. So this would definitely be, a race to remember. At least, hopefully, we can see more of Cat Rose later on in the series as she progresses from there. And yeah,
Mentioned, and we have a possible candidate for save of the season from Drew Walker.
Drew Walker, like he's currently in contention for the championship, and currently he's a defending champion. And all I can say, he's doing pretty well. But anyway, I think my mind's going off a bit. So what else can I mention? I was gonna say, oh yeah, the point standings. For those who don't know, because I've just released the point standings in the last race at Japan, the race that was uploaded around 12 hours before this video, as we're streaming right now. Yeah, Kendrick Meeks currently leads the point standings. Kendrick Meeks is hopefully gonna win his second championship if he carries on from there. However, he's got about 20-30 points behind him. There is Riley Hill currently in second place. Riley Hill, this season could be his, as he continues on his promising campaign with the HMR team. And I think Drew Walker is currently in third place. And Drew Walker, hopefully, as I mentioned, hopefully can win his second championship if he keeps on from there, because he's pretty strong. He's one of the drivers to beat in the season so far. And I think behind, I don't know if it's Jerry Chen. I think maybe no,
Yeah,
Owen Scott. Jerry Chen or Owen Scott? I need to go back and check.
It's Jerry Chen.
Oh, Jerry Chen.
220 points, and Owen Scott right behind with 202 points.
Jerry Chen and Owen Scott, both fourth and fifth respectively, and still mathematically in contention for the championship. Lola Chirnside as well. She's doing pretty well. Like I mentioned, she's on a high note this season, unlike her previous season, and currently sixth place with only 176 points, but still an outside choice of winning. The only things you probably need is like high position, probably even a win as well. She has yet to win a race, but hopefully there's a good chance she might be able to get close to the front if she continues on her long high run. Cat Rose, coming back from her win last race at Japan, she's behind Lola Chirnside with only 133 points. Ruben Gonzalez started off pretty strong early on in the season, but he's now dropping back a bit. He's now down in 8th place, 1 point behind Cat Rose, 172 points. Cam Wright, as we all heard of, we do widely expect for him to carry on going strong. If he does carry on like this, he could definitely even go as close to the lead in points. Cam Wright, despite winning only 2 races the most alongside I think Jerry Chen and Drew Walker. Cam Wright is only ninth in the points with 164 points. As we all know what happened to Cam Wright. He started the season pretty poorly and barely didn't really score any points in the first 4 races. But then we had New York, the Streets of New York round, race 5 of this season, and he started off on pole and got the fastest lap as well as the win, his first ever win in his career. Then Indianapolis was pretty strong for him, and then we had Chicagoland, where he won on a photo finish with Kendrick Meeks and Riley Hill after a clothing lap battle for the lead, and Cam Wright managed to edge it. So Cam Wright is also the one to watch. He's sort of also an outside chance of winning the championship, as he is still mathematically able to do so at this point. We are currently halfway of the season, as I mentioned. I kept mentioning it now these days, but yeah. So we have a maximum of, I don't know, can't remember the maximum points we have left, but we've still got plenty of points. I think almost everybody, about a quarter of this season's drivers have probably lost their chance of winning the championship by now. So anyway, that's all I can say. Let's carry on with the top 10. There's one driver that we haven't mentioned in the top 10. That's Orisa Xavier. Orisa Xavier started off a bit more better than last season. Orisa Xavier currently in 10th with 157 points. Orisa Xavier, he hasn't won a race since season 1, but still with HMR backing and in a satellite team, Orisa Xavier is still basically getting there to try and hopefully come back with probably even a win if he goes from there. But Orisa Xavier, as I mentioned, still has lots of work to do to continue getting high positions. Because sometimes he has some luck, sometimes he doesn't have some luck. So that's probably why we've not seen a lot of him nearby the front. So anyway, I think that's the top 10 I can only mention. The rest, well, you guys can find out in the Discord or in the last race of Japan, the YouTube video. So anyway, we've taken a bit of time before start the race, so let's move on to qualifying. Let's see who will take pole position here in today's race.
Drivers, to your car.
Sure.
Quinn Melanie and Appleseed will start first and second. Here in Australia, Cat Rose, coming off her first win, will start strongly in third place. Daniel Bouchard, by the way, we forgot to mention that Daniel Bouchard will be racing in a Cadillac today after a one-race agreement with JCM to drive one of their cars, probably one of their backup cars. And I think
Richard Pate is saying that he's in a coma. How is he driving?
Well, it appears to be fake news. I don't know what's going on. Perhaps someone is secretly taking over this driver and faking the name. But who cares? I'm just assuming that it is still the same guy that has been racing all since then. As we take a look. Well, in that case, it does appear that... Yeah, it does appear that someone might be faking his name. But we'll find out later on in the race. Oh, but well, I think Richard Petty Jr. just mentioned on Discord that he's actually running Dodgers, not Cadillac. But well, I thought that Jerry Chen agreed for one race to run a Cadillac, but then returning to Dodge after this race. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, the situation with that. Apparently, Richard A is saying that Jerry Chen owns the name, right, and name to Cadillac, which is kind of, but too late now. Can't change it.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what Jerry Chen said. I just assumed, but anyway, we call that one race deal. So, yeah, let's get this race done over with. Let's just Boothie will yeah, no problem. Let me get the national anthem on because I forgot. We always need to hear the national anthem.
And the screen for the people in the
Discord. I almost forgot. Let me get this. I want to show you guys the bottom because I've not done so yet. So. All right. Oh, Kendrick Meeks. Your championship leader will start next to last. Cam Wright will also start very low, which is a bit of a shock for me. And where is Drew Walker, by the way?
22nd.
Oh, 22nd, Drew Walker. Owen Scott will start 18th. And yeah, I think that's all I need to know. So, yeah. Let me get the Aussie national anthem on. And then we shall get going. Discord?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The screen share thing. You always put a camera with the live feed for the live data.
I'm not sure.
It ain't on.
Well, the stream is still on.
Yeah, the stream's on, but screen for the Discord.
Oh, you mean this? Oh, the stream cord. My bad. Well, it is on.
Yeah.
It did post, so at least this is working. So I've just double checked it and already has.
But the people in the backs, people in the voice call can't, see, like the previous races where you done that.
I don't know.
The screen share, put the live feed from the race onto the call where you can see.
Friday.
Oh.
Now on the past, but they ain't on right now.
Right. I'll just bring the national anthem of Australia on. Let's start hearing it before we start the race. Oop. I had it on mute a moment ago, so anyway, we'll start playing. Yeah, I think that's it, the national anthem. So, let's get on with it. Ooh, this is bright. Bit bright for me. I hope it's not lagging at this time. And we're about to go racing soon as the pace car you just saw has pulled in. We're about to get racing. Away we go! And let's see what Quinn Mullany can do. Let's see if he can capitalize on a race win, at least. He has won a race at Atlanta, but let's see how he can keep up with his JC car. There has been rumors about his future with JCM, but Quinn Mullany is trying to prove him wrong. Sally Appleseed, we know he's known for her bad luck so far in the season, and she has started in second place, and now she's trying to fan up the new Cadillac driver of Daniel Bouchard, as Daniel Bouchard overtook Cat Road, but Cat Road is trying to take the position back from Daniel Bouchard. And here comes Jerry Chen. That is Quinn Mullany's well, technically not his teammate, but technically in the same team of JCM, and he's trying to pull off a good start for him. And the pink car of Avery Hamilton will carry on through to Australia. And I think currently the highest Hill Mix racing car at this time. Although we've got Lowell Chirnside not far from him.
Did I just see Sally Appleseed in the lead?
Oh, Sally Appleseed takes the lead from Quinn Mullany. Sally Appleseed at the moment is sort of doing well. Although we don't know how long she's going to fend off. I think it's probably
going against her. One being her own engine.
Well, it's a Honda engine, so it's pretty exclusive compared with the other engines and the other cars in the likes of Cadillac or Tag Heuer.
Not to mention that Princess does not do much for airflow.
And her brother is actually all the way in the back. Wow, what a huge big sandwich we've got here. John Appleseed at the back, already struggling. And his luck seems to be coming for him as well. So there's a huge curse going along in the Appleseed family. Don't know how it happened. Especially what we saw early in the season. First it was mostly Sally Appleseed and now John Appleseed. Well, John Appleseed also fell victimized into an awful crash back at Canada when Alajo took him out. And now they're all the way in the back. And where's the sister now? Sister is still leading. And at the moment, we don't know how her luck will be at this very race. Maybe she's lucky at this race. Or lucky at this track. This will be really interesting to see at this point. As Quinn Mullany appears to come back at... He's coming back at Sally Appleseed, and now he's looking at her rear very closely. And in a very good position to take that position back and take the lead again. Jerry Chen is now up into third place. Oh, we got some more Cadillacs in the top 10 now. Daniel Bouchard getting used to the new Cadillac, which he'll only be using for one race so far. Now he's a bit under pressure from his other rival cars, that is Cat Rose and as well as Lowell Chirnside. Those are two different rival team cars, HMR and JCM. And another HMR car right behind is Borat Shadua, or Sadua. My pronunciation in Hungary is still bad. And Borat is still running strongly so far in the season. And we see the retiring Rick Roll in 10th place. And still holding on. He has started pretty strongly, which was quite unusual to see him do that. There's many people question of how he actually did so, because usually he's not a good racer, or doesn't normally produce many strong results so far in his career. And now people have been amazed to have heard that Rick Froome will no longer be here after this season. And as a result of Rick Froome leaving, I think that would leave a spot to TD Autosports, or at least all TD Autosports will lose one driver. So I think at the moment it appears that only Tristan Mendoza and Jameson, I think, those are the only two drivers set to return for next season. But as I keep mentioning, so far during this duration of the season, we don't know what's going to happen with these drivers, as not all drivers have been confirmed for next season. But obviously we'll find out. Anyway, Sally Appleseed still leads as Jerry Chen makes a move on Quinn Mullany. This is getting pretty interesting right now. This could be probably one of the very lucky moments we've ever saw in the series. Sally Appleseed come off with a very bad season, and in fact, it would pretty much be compared to Cam Wright. Cam Wright started really badly, but then he managed to get 2 victories. So now, Sally Appleseed could be the one as well to taste the victory after a very dreadful season. But now she's under pressure from 2 GCM cars, that is Quinn Mullany and Jerry Chen. Jerry Chen giving Quinn Mullany a bit of a push, probably some assistance, to hopefully beat their rival team. Well, yeah, Sally Appleseed is currently on a team. Her brother arranged her brother decided to arrange a team together, and that's why she's currently racing for Appleseed Origins Racing. That is her team right now. So a rival team is coming towards her, and look at Quinn Mullany. He's getting a bit racy around there, as that's probably thanks to Jerry Chen's draft. I think Jerry Chen now wants to overtake Quinn Mullany. Sally Appleseed remains up front. Actually, these two could be making a chance to overtake Sally Appleseed all at once. It does appear to be, but shamefully not so. But Jerry Chen managed to take 2nd place and overtake his teammate Quinn Mullany. So now he has got Sally Appleseed to deal with just solely. And still a huge big sandwich between Appleseed and Appleseed, with Sally Appleseed up front. Now Jerry Chen is getting really racy towards her, and still anything can happen in this race. Jerry Chen could be up to winning his 3rd record win of the season if he can actually win the race, and that could be a huge boost to his championship hopes, as he's probably not that far in points from the leader, but still a bit of work to do. Let's take a look and find where Drew Walker is and Kendrick Meeks, what they're doing. And we need to find out where is Riley Hill. Riley Hill appears to be down. There is Drew Walker climbing up a little bit. He's down around in 15th place. Well, 16th place, about to overtake Lowell for 15th place. Now, where is Meeks? Meeks should at least be doing the same as well. And he's right there in 27th place. And Riley Hill right behind him. Riley Hill. So it seems that these two top 2 leaders in points are sort of going head to head. But now he's got a bit of a pressure from another championship contender, that is Owen Scott. So Riley Hill really needs to get moving if he wants to beat Meeks in points, probably after this race. And as we see, Jacob Hammond gone a bit wide, and now other cars are passing him on the inside. Why don't we take a look at Leland Hill's new scheme? Where is Leland Hill? That is the problem. Oh, he's right there. In his brand new pink scheme. The Alley pink car. Alley Blade. Or Alley you call this. And that is currently Hilmi's scheme. I mean, Millennium Hill's scheme for this race.
I think this was a media post just now, a few seconds ago. And he's picking answer. HRE means talent. Big things coming in the future. From Ferrero Motorsports.
It had been announced, and I almost forgot to mention that the HRE will be merging with Ferrero Motorsports from next season, with a possibly much improved satellite team for the JCM team. We go back front and find out how they're doing, and I think, whoa, Jerry Chen has taken the lead. But when did this happen? Probably kind of long to go. Oh, there it is, and on lap 16, Jerry Chen overtakes Sally Appleseed for the lead on lap 16. So now he's on a comfortable lead right now. We're now currently on lap 22. Now there has been rumors of regards to the entrant of Richard Petty Jr.'s car. There are rumors of him being in a coma at this moment in time, despite the fact we're seeing one of his cars racing. All I can say is, who's actually driving this car? Because if it turns out to be true that he's actually in a coma, then who will be driving this car? Why don't we give out some thoughts and find out who's actually driving this car? Because it could be anyone. Could be any driver that we know of.
I'm probably going to say probably his father, maybe.
Probably. But it's all in the dark. I'm pretty certain it'll be all revealed after this race. So right now, let's focus back towards the front as Cat Rose is losing. And here comes Lola Chirnside, overtaking Quinn Mullany for second place. I mean, third place. Lola Chirnside's season is about to get even stronger for her, as she currently now lies third place. Sally Appleseed remains in that second place spot, and we don't know how she's going to cope with the other racers. Now she's lost the lead to Jerry Chen with it was a much easier one for Jerry Chen to get past Sally Appleseed, and now Sally Appleseed may have to focus on the cars behind her, even though there's a huge gap behind her, so she's got some time to maintain her place. But if it does shrink and she does end up losing ground and end up with the other cars behind her, then this will be the big question of how she will cope with maintaining her position at this time. So far it's a bit of a quiet race. Jerry Chen still leads.
There's 100 laps on this place, so anything can happen.
Borat trying to hold off Cat Rose. Cat Rose got a bit more strong equipment than the HMR satellite car, and now both cars have now caught up with Quinn Mullany. Cat Rose makes the opportunity to get past possibly both cars. and that pushes Borat just off wide, but Borat seems to not give up as he maintains that place, and now he's still up front. Oh, he's actually gone past Quinn Mullany as a result of that. So we've got now 3 cars battling out this time as Bouchard joins in on the mix. Now 3 Cadillacs battling up together as Quinn Mullany slightly pulls away a little bit. And in fact, this is probably a matter of life and death between these 2 drivers, these 2 sort of teammates, Quinn Mullany and Cat Rose. Cat Rose being in the main seat with full support from JCM, and Quinn Mullany in the satellite team. Quinn Mullany has so far trying to prove that he's still worth of a seat at JCM with a pole position in this race. And now Cat Rose has already been confirmed, thankfully, to continue racing the 13 in the future after this season. So still, Cat Rose has got a lot to prove, because her results are still strong, and that's why it's enough for her to carry on with her relationship with JCM later on, let alone with a win last race. This number 13 has proven to be actually good luck, the way opposite of what the number is supposed to be referred to. Anyway, here comes Borat.
The Twitch chat is like...
Who's in?
The Twitch chat is quite active.
Don't know who's active.
The Twitch chat.
Oh, he's getting really active. Twitch chat. I see. Anyway, we've got a lap call coming in. That's of course John Appleseed is. Oh, John Appleseed's gone in, and it seems pit stops might be happening pretty soon. But we're gonna find out what happened to John Appleseed. It may be that he has pitted pretty early at this time.
There's no smoke, so that's good.
There's no smoke. Oh, I mean, yeah, there's no smoke. He's actually pitting for tires, like he would normally do. But as I say, it's a pretty early pit stop. And he comes out, and we do quite expect to see him bouncing back, hopefully. Anyway, we'll be heading back toward the front. Ooh, Drew Walker is getting close. He's up into 10th place, so he's really working his way up. Cat Rose is starting to lose ground now. This is Borat. Borat is certainly a future driver right now. A driver of certainly more things to come in the future. Borat is giving everything he's got in HMR. And I think he's definitely worth of a seat right now. Probably a better seat, probably even in the main team.
Now, next season, I heard there will be an engine contract.
What contract?
Engine contract. Because of the performances of a certain company that makes engines.
Oh yes, we know what we're talking about.
Yeah, the current count right now is 7 times. Once at Daytona, 2 at Talladega, 2 at Darlington, 1 in Chicagoland, and the latest being a being in Japan.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
I just hope they make fixed up ramp for next season.
Chen still leading, Sallyful still second place, and Chirnside still in third place. And here comes Bouchard. Now he's really getting used to his new equipment now. As he makes a move on Quinn Mullany. I think they're gonna push towards Borat, probably. Closer to him, as it appears that the gap is already closing in. And Quinn Mullany is getting a bit more comfortable than he was back then. Here comes Cat Rose, making a move on Bouchard. Oh, and Dex Miyazaki joining the mix as well. And here comes Drew Walker. So we have another Cadillac joining the mix as well. As I say, Cadillacs are really hard to beat, these cars. We're currently on lap 40. Let's take a look at the fastest lap time. Currently is the number 6 of Quinn Mullany. And the only driver to beat the 32-second barrier. But anything can change. We're currently still early in this race, around lap 40. So, Chen continuing his lead. And Borat might be closing in on Lola Chirnside actually. Still doing well in his HiII number 25 M&M's car. Quinn Mullany is still holding in. And Cat Rose is a period that Drew Walker has gone past Dex Miyazaki for, I think, for 8th place. No, for 7th place, my bad. And Drew Bouchard has already gone past by both cars now. Now he's the one to fall in. This is a wonder car. Doesn't look like a wonder car now, based on how he raced. The Fortunery. She's still holding on to that 10th spot, as she's got Roberto Crown Jr. right behind her. Owen Scott, I think it's the only Cadillac outside of the top 10, and he's way down in 25th place.
A far cry from the past 2 races.
A bit of a flunk, but probably to do with getting used to the track. I don't know how his results was in the last race, but I think it's probably some sort of appeal that's got to him. So I don't know how. Yeah, maybe that could be the reason why he was doing well in some tracks.
Owen Scott finished second in Japan.
He was also 4th in Canada the race before.
So it was a far cry from those 2.
And Kendrick Meeks is struggling to work his way up. He's in a Hill Meeks car, and currently Euro Championship leader. And he's not making this day any better for him. Now there is a possibility he could lose the championship lead after this race if he goes worse than that. I think he's okay right now, but if he goes worse than where he is right now, then that'll be it for him. As John Appleseed, there appears to be some problems in the pits. As I think, according to the pit crew, they say that John Appleseed has reported to have problems. And oh, he's slowing down. So John Appleseed could be the first retire of the day. John Appleseed has a problem. I don't think it's an engine failure. I don't think it was an engine failure because as you can see, there's no smoke. So I think there are some problems with the car. Solely, I think to do with maybe the gearbox problem or such. But he does appear to be still in there, and we don't know if he's actually gonna not continue or whether he will continue, because this has happened to a few drivers. Drivers had problems, they come into the pits and then they come out again, obviously after a few laps. So basically they're a few laps down. So we'll find out what will happen later on. We go towards the front again.
Appleseeds are still going on. And
we see lap cars coming in. Well, Jerry Chen is approaching lap cars now. John Appleseed comes out.
Finally, we're going to see entertainment.
And here comes Chirnside. Chirnside battling it with Sally Appleseed. Sally Appleseed's grip seems to be losing already, and I don't think Sally Appleseed is taking it no more. With maintaining her place, she's really under pressure, and I'm certain to do with the tires as well. Her tires are starting to lose grip for her now, and that will give Solar Chirnside the opportunity. They're now battling, going side by side, and Loaded Chirnside seems to be sliding a bit. As you can see, there are early stages of her driving. Her grip is starting to lose drastically. Here comes Lola Chirnside. She's now up into the front of Sally Appleseed. Now, Chirnside is now in second place. But still, there's a huge, big gap between her and Jerry Chen with a 12, almost 30-second gap. 13-second gap between the 36 and the number 5. So, Chirnside could still win the race if she can get her work cut out. And that will depend on how Jerry Chen is doing. It is not long before the lap cars are coming. And you can see right now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lap cars in front of him. So that will be a bit of a challenge for him to get past. At least to know what he's doing, because he's a pretty capable driver of doing so. As well as being in a team, a really strong team, who has won the championship last season. So, at least Sheridan is one of the drivers who knows exactly what to do. There's Thomas Juliano, the last of the last lead pack, about to be lapped by Jerry Chen. Oh, and Drew Walker catches up with the two drivers, Chirnside and Appleseed. So that's going to be a bit of a distraction between the two drivers. Look at how Chirnside is holding Sally Appleseed. Sally Appleseed appears to not be giving up. But as we know, that Drew Walker is a pretty strong driver to deal with. And look at Sally Appleseed. I think thanks to Drew Walker, she's now got the hang. And now she's able to get past Solar Chirnside. We don't know how Chirnside is going to respond, but look at Drew Walker. Now I think he'll be the one to try and get past with a strong BC driving move for the number 47 car. These three drivers are still together, with Sally Appleseed this time up front in second place. So I think there'll be another battle with these three cars very soon, as Jerry Chen finally gets him at the rear of Thomas Juliano. The gap between Juliano and the car up front is pretty long, and some space in front of him, so I think that'll be a bit of an easy pass for Jerry Chen to get past Juliano. Just not yet, but I think Juliano is responding to see what he can do, and I think he might have a plan set in mind.
I just hope that these guys do not give Jerry Chen too much trouble.
I think Chums Juliano wants to do something first before he does anything else. He probably doesn't want to get lapped whilst being last place. Maybe he just want to basically see if he can use as much as he can to try and get past the car at least. But it seems Jerry Chen is about to pass him. Now that pushes Chums Juliano on the outside. And now he's got 2 cars in front of him to get past. So I think these cars in front, I think that's Hammond and that's Gonzalez, they're now responding to Chen to try and make room for him. Oh, and Juliano seems he don't want to be lapped, but probably not. I think Juliano is a bit fast. We all know how Juliano is like. He can be a bit faster than him, but probably too fast than him. As Jerry Chen is now stuck between Juliano and Hammond, the 2 lap cars. So it's probably not going to be easy for him to get past, but at least he's got some work to do. See how the car they're doing. As Chirnside now gets past Sally Appleseed. Oh, Sally Appleseed gets passed by both cars, Chirnside and Drew Walker. So we see Sally Appleseed is losing grip really right now. We saw her in one race where she started second and she fell way down the order, which is certainly to do with luck. We're now at lap 57, so we've already gone halfway in this race. We're doing pretty well. Dex Miyazaki slowly climbing up as he tries to get past Dex Miyazaki. Dex Miyazaki has not won a race since, I think, Texas in Season 1. And he's slowly climbing in. We do widely expect around the pistol to come in really, really soon. Probably around the next 10 laps or so. That will be an interesting shake up the order. Jerry Chen is slowly going through the lap cars now. And his gap is still stabilizing, so at least Jerry Chen can be able to continue his long run from there.
Almost 15 seconds now.
Chirnside is in second place. Still a quiet race. Kendrick Meeks is still struggling. He's still staying where he is around 28th place, and he's got his championship rival Riley Hill up in front now. Sally Appleseed now under pressure from Borat now. Drew Walker hopefully gonna make a JC Motorsport 1-2 if he gets past Lowell Chirnside, because his teammate Jerry Chen is still up in first place. And gap's still increasing amidst with the lap cars he's dealing with. Now he's got more lap cars he has to deal with now. And we do what expect a round of pit stops to be coming really soon.
I like that. And get racing a bit more interesting.
Sheridan's still in third place. Still no way to get past Chirnside.
Sheridan first. No.
Currently, oh, we got more pit stops coming in. That is, I think, the first one. Well, the first one in many laps. Dylan Hayden, that's you, and that's you in the pits. A normal pit stop procedure. Do I expect more cars coming in? But that's a bit of an early pit stop for number 48. Chirnside pulling away a little bit. That's Chen, and he's got a bit more breathing space now because there's not a lot of lap cars in front of him. Just a huge gap. And the next one is obviously Ayanami and Meeks. Ayanami making a move on Meeks for 27th place. We have more pit stops coming in, and these are the following cars: Sally Appleseed in the pits, Brown in the pits, LaForge Henry, Quinn Mullany, number 52 Avery Hamilton, Terry Lowell, and John Palmer, and the rest. We'll find out how the leaders will be. Oh, Chen has pitted. Chen's in the pits. And Chirnside is pitting. And we'll find out how the leaders will be after this race. I think Jerry Chen has gone out and Drew Walker has gone out. I think Drew Walker is up into second place. Well, not quite yet, because that will depend on Chirnside. He needs to do one more lap before he does anything. Chirnside in the pits. Let's take a look at the pit stops. I mean, the pit lane. Right then, so let's see. Chen has gone past, and I think that's Chirnside coming out. As we see Drew Walker coming towards him, and that is, of course, Drew and Dix Miyazaki as well. So this is gonna get pretty interesting. Right now, Chirnside remains in second place right now. I think in a fixed second place. Oh, a bit close for Leland Hill. So, this is going to get a bit confusing now, because a lot of the cars are now bunched in between now. Oh, Drew Walker did get past Chirnside.
Now we have some great racing now.
Now, this is going to get really interesting now. Terry Lowell up into 10th place, which is pretty interesting to see him. Chirnside now has John Appleseed to deal with now. Jerry Chen still leads. There's the board right now. Well, up on the front or up on the side, because I'm not seeing the ticker from my side. The rest of us are, but not me. Jerry Chen is dealing with Richard Herman right now. The gap might be closing in between Jerry Chen and Drew Walker. So Jerry Chen might be in trouble there with only 25 laps to go. And you see Drew Walker is slightly closing in, even though he's got lap card, but the gap is slightly closing in so far. Miyazaki making a move on Sally Appleseed. For the first time, we've seen these two together, but not a single battle until now. Miyazaki going side by side with Appleseed to try and take 4th position. but not quite. Sally Appleseed unusually defends that position. As Bouchard slowly joins in on the mix. Oh, here comes Miyazaki making an easy pass this time on Appleseed. Sally Appleseed to take 4th place. And he's got Chirnside ahead. There could be a 3-way battle or a 4-way battle for 3rd place. As Drew Walker is now closing in on Jerry Chen, as it appears to be, as he finally gets through the lap cars. Jerry Chen has yet to get past Richard Herman, so there is some trouble. There is potentially some trouble coming from his teammate Drew Walker. So this is probably going to be bad news, and probably for his championship hopes if he stays where he is. As Drew Walker is closing in just slowly on his teammate Jerry Chen. Just slowly. Oh, and Jerry Chen managed to respond, and he's now in front of Richard Herman. So now he's got more breathing space now. We're now 17 laps to go, so Jerry Chen could be up for his record 3rd win in a season. Or Drew Walker, even if he wins, that would be the same thing. A record 3rd win in a season. Thirteen laps to go. Well, Quimani now getting passed by a number of cars. That LaForge Bouchard, and almost John Palmer. John Palmer trying to get top 10 for him.
I get some news.
No.
Chen and teased a new paint scheme for the 87.
87 Saber Fox, I think, as part of the plan to merge with Ferrari Motorsports for next season. Jerry Chen's still on a very comfortable lead as we're now less than 10 laps to go. Still got some lap car to deal with, but he's still got plenty of a gap round there. Chirnside might be closing in to lap cars. It might not be much of a factor because we've got 4 laps to go, so she could still keep her 3rd place spot as a result of that. Jerry Chen didn't actually haven't actually led from flag to flag, having got a few leaders. So Thali Appleseed, Quimani, I think, and probably another driver. But Jerry Chen has made the most use out of this race to finally get what he wants, which could hopefully add to his championship hopes. And certainly will close in on Kendrick Meeks, who is probably likely going to lose his lead because now he's probably not going to score any points for this race for his very poor showing in this race. So 2 laps to go and the race will be over. Hopefully Jerry Chen can carry on and win that race. As we've learned, last race win that he had wasn't really a curse for him compared to the first race that he won back at Nashville. But now he's definitely pouring cold water on everybody else for any fears of what's going to happen if he does win that race, or after he wins that race. It seems that he's putting everyone to make sure that nothing is going to work, nothing to worry about. There's absolutely nothing to worry about for Jerry Chen right now. We do hope that he'll have a better future ahead of him, as he's about to win his third race of the season. And here it comes towards the start-finish line, the check flag showing, and here he comes. He wins the race here at Australia. And Drew Walker will likely finish a very comfortable second position. There he goes. And who will finish third? Chirnside will finish third. That, I think, is a career best finish for her. Her career isn't stopping right now. And she's still an outside chance for the championship. And already he's climbing even further from there. Miyazaki
once
fourth place.
again, Leland Hill has been outdone by his own teammate.
One of them is Borat, and in 5th place. 6th place Cat Rose, 7th place Sally Appleseed, 8th place LaForge Henry, 9th place Daniel Bouchard, and 10th place goes to Daniel. No, that's not Daniel, that's John Palmer. Why am I calling him Daniel at this point? Number 21.
Many fans are not happy about this race.
Nothing really. The only highlight that we had was John Appleseed having problems. That was it.
Owen Scott has said that was worse than Atlanta last season.
I don't think so. I mean, it's just when we had crashes. Maybe because of crashes, so that's why. I mean, we had races where nothing really happened during that time during the race. So, well, I don't know what else to say. So I'm just a bit tired. I do hope to get another race done soon, probably in the next hour or so, because I'm really hungry. I'm starving. I need to have something to eat. Probably in an hour we'll get Germany done. Germany will be much better. Germany is known for having lots of storylines on the track, including that infamous incident which involves a driver flipping over onto its roof. So hopefully, lots of
I hate
things.
to interrupt, but I think we got an answer to who was driving the 43.
Whoa! Do you know who it is?
Miyagi Nariyoshi.
Oh, is that your guess, really? I don't really believe you.
Richard Petty Jr. just said it in the Discord.
Oh, we'll find out. Let's see. My bad. So this happens. Miyagi Nariyoshi is actually the driver of the number 43 in place of Richard Petty Jr. Somehow snuck into, I think, for his team. I think the team decided to agree to sneakily drive the car for Richard Petty Jr. So that's probably not going to be a good thing for the stewards, for a driver competing for Richard Petty Jr. without their notice. So we don't know what's going to happen. It may be the fact that Nariyoshi does have a reason for it, and especially the fact of being a D2 driver. But although being a D2 driver, he's a fantasy racer that was laid off from D1 last season. So there might be a violation to the rules as a result of a legal or a legitimate driver taking part in the series. But that is something we cannot comment any further from this point. But as we see, finally reveal who the driver is, as many people question who's driving 43. Certainly not Richard Petty Jr. I'm sure I've seen him in the hospital. So we'll see what's going to happen after this race. So the results might be provisional at this point.
I think we just got the answer to that.
Yeah, it's been believed that his participation was illegal, and So we'll have to find out after this race what's going to happen next. It is likely, though, that he will lose that result. So that means everyone will get a spot back. I mean, everyone behind him will get a place up. So a possible disqualification for Richard Jr.
The answer has been solved about that. Yeah, on the Discord. Mikey Yoshi illegally drove the 43 due to not informing anyone about the substitution. And we just get on news right now. Mikey Nariyoshi sneaked into the dealership and somehow did a perfect Richard Petty Jr. impression and got into the car without talking to anyone.
Well, we'll find out for the race what's going to happen to Richard Petty Jr.'s illegal substitute, Nariyoshi. Will he lose the result or will he get penalized? We'll wait and see. Right, before we go, let's take a look at the fastest lap time. And it's Richard Herman this time with a 31.7. Seems the laps have gone faster since then. And there you go. So I show the results again. And now we're off to Germany. Hopefully in an hour's time. Thank you everyone for watching the stream. At least it was a bit boring. Nothing really happening. But I guess that's Australia to you. We do have some races that were like this. But we do widely expect the next race to be much better. And that's why we'll make the commentary a bit more lively from then. So once again, thank you everyone. And I shall see you there soon in Germany. Take care everyone and ciao.